Greetings, my friends. This is Gilles Mansillon. I wasn't going to speak, but Spirit is asking me to come and discuss a few ideas. It is actually a lot of efforts to do this video in French, because that's where I have 10 times more audience in French, and to do it in English. But I think it is important to continue to do it in English, to communicate. Because I hope soon I will be able to reach a larger audience. And I thank you so very much for sharing, for commenting, for liking, for sharing, for not forgetting to subscribe, and for your donations as well. If you want a private session, you can send me an email. And if you want to talk about art, interdimensional art, feel free to contact me. I wanted to say that right now is a period of test, and it's very challenging. At one moment, Spirit, for me, just relating to my own experience, is asking me to take a position on something. I have to be very strong into this position. But if I take the same position 10 minutes later, I may be complete mistake because I have to take a reverse. I cannot blame myself from following. I have a total trust in my guidance, but you have to be flexible to what is coming at any given moment without attachment. And the tests are very intense. Huh? It's like extremely intense even. And but the greatest are spiritual aspiration. The higher the bar, huh? And it's like the more we aspire. Yet it is our soul that has already decided that, and it's relative to our spiritual capacity, and for expansion and our level of consciousness. Everything God never gives us more than when we're capable of handling. For some of the sorts of the ideas that I've been presenting in this channel for many years, sometimes it's good to learn to work and think and talk within the box, within the accepted knowledge, what's acceptable to think and to believe. But sometimes we're moving into the Aquarian age, and sometimes I have to present radical thoughts that are beyond the acceptable norm of the third dimension reality. That's about maybe extraterrestrials, about ancient civilization, even relative to God and Spirit in the law of one, on how we need to connect to the Creator through our own heart and no longer need to go into some kind of external force. Although our heart is aligned with the higher force of the universe, because we already received the highest guidance from within and above. But it doesn't have to come through another human. That's what I mean. So that is really a radical change. Understanding that all the secrets of the universe, we had to go through this period of darkness before we existed on this planet, on ancient civilization, Lemuria, or even Atlantis. Lemuria was mainly feminine. Atlantis was mostly masculine. And some of the secrets of those times couldn't be stored within physical substance because they could be stolen and used for when we go through this age of darkness. So it was stored within our soul, it was stored within our DNA, and this information is becoming available as we become, as our source codes are awakening. And so the dark forces are really, or the deep state, what we call the dark forces, they're really divided, and destroying all they have in the battle. So we have to stay calm and connected, and collected and connected to our soul and spirit, and among ourselves as well when we can. There are cosmic events coming that will dissolve all the hold of the shadow matrix. It's all gonna, and the AI agenda of synthetic apocalypse and their fear-based system. For there is many stories that are awakening, that are maybe resurfacing all the kind of myths and legends. And for story starts as story, then it becomes a legend, then it becomes a myth. But all the mythologies and the biblical story, all of those stories are real. They're based on fact. They've been changed through times, but it's all based on fact. And so we have to it's really a deprogrammation of all the duality, all the fake news, fake history, fake science. And because even on the terms of the story, even some of the fictional stories in Hollywood and so on, some of them are very revealing, like the movie Matrix or the Lord of the Rings. They were very old ancient story of duality within this world, or Star Wars that talks about the galactic wars. It wasn't in a galaxy far away, and it wasn't so long ago. So those are just the two sides of the force. There is all kinds of stories science fiction that are not science and they're not fiction in reality. And so, we have to see what resonates with us. So much truth is coming through scientific pages on the internet now. A lot of truth is starting to be introduced into the reality of the collective consciousness. Just like the sun, the scientific recognize that the sun may be a conscious being, that the earth is having a pulse, a heartbeat, like on the quantum level, the death does not really exist. All kinds of revelations that are coming through scientific channels, so that it may be easier to accept than spiritual or artistic channel. But the breathing of the earth is something that they're realizing that the earth every 28 seconds has a pulse. Like our own pulse is the pulse of our heart. We want it calm. We want it not as slow as the earth, but we want to harmonize our own pulse with the pulse of the earth, and the pulse of the sun, and the pulse of the galaxy, and the pulse of the universe, and the pulse of our prime creator. When all the pulses are aligned, then all things work in harmony. What we seek is harmony, it's balance. And there is a pulse that's very important. It's the pulse of the Phoenix. The Phoenix is the largest intergalactic ship of our universe. It comes from Alpha Centauri. It's commanded by the commander Soltec, who's the commander of the pulse. It's got an amazing artificial intelligence, a computer. There are 2 million technicians that works on the Phoenix. It resides on the 172nd dimension. And so it records all of the evolution of consciousness of all the planets of our local universe. And then there is reports that is made to the computer every day. Sometimes our soul go there to make report on the Phoenix. We're not allowed to remember. I was invited consciously to visit that place. It's quite amazing. And then this information is given to the computer, the central computer of the Phoenix, that retransmit a pulse within the DNA of all beings and all things in the universe to assist in its evolution. It is a huge ship that serves for interdimensional galactic meetings and transporting things between planets and all kinds of ways. It's got all kinds of functions as well. And the pulse of the Phoenix for a very long time was 20 pulse, 20 pulse, pose, 4 time 20. And when the Earth came into this age of Aquarius, we started our ascension, the pulse of the Phoenix changed. Now it's 9 times 9. And when the Earth will have completed their ascension in 12th dimension, will be integrated within the Sirian star system, then the pulse of the Phoenix will change again. We don't know really how it will change, but it will change again. So right now we're 9 times 9. It's really the completion of a cycle. So we have to learn to learn to stillness as a sanctuary, and to continue to utilize discernment on all levels, because natural justice is coming, also, but there is all kinds of fake news also that will be communicated on the internet, and what comes from your guidance still remains primal. So we have to become one, but becoming one is a unity field is a gradual thing. And even after ascension, we'll continue to integrate higher level of unity and wisdom and love and expansion. For in truth, that's an eternal process, because the eternal Father is truly infinite in reality. So there will never come an end to our spiritual growth and evolution. They say on Paradise that only the eternal Son and the infinite Spirit know the plan of the Father. For everybody else, life is an act of faith. So there will always be new. We're moving into a corridor of consciousness that leads us to another place, space into a space into a space of consciousness, and it will be eternal and infinite. So eventually we find a total integration within the balance of our beings, and then more and more and more of that, and more consciousness. So. But all of that is conducted by our soul. It's still it depends on our spiritual capacity and our aspiration. and the more we have aspiration, the more challenging it can become within the unity of it all. There is all things, and there are far greater things in the universe than both in the dark and the light. There's a lot darker and a lot lighter than anything that our fiction can reveal. Like Shakespeare said in Hamlet, or Horatio, I tell you, there are more things in the universe than our dreams and philosophy combined. The universe is far richer. So we do want to. God knows what we're capable of handling and what is right for us to address. So have no fear. Huh? All is planned by your soul, your group soul, your monads, an energy that surround your life, and it's all and you're surrounded by your guides that have your back, that protects you, and it's all orchestrated by your I am presence, your creator, your God self. And so I'm gonna pull a few cards and then speak a little bit more. See what we get today. Card of the day is the young, acting upon the will. Just if you get an inspiration, go for it, act upon it. You become the will of God in action, the young, divine masculine. What needs to be understood, the higher wisdom first, is to chop up wood. It's about being very conscious and present and spiritual within all mundane experiences of physical life. What we need to understand is deep knowledge, all of those transcendental information, energy, everything that our consciousness is able to integrate is a deep knowledge, the eternity of our soul and the planes of the eternal. What we need to do is the exchange of gift, to give and to receive, to share. It's all about giving and receiving. Life is all about an exchange of energy. And the outcome is breathing. Being very conscious within our breathing, more and more. For the Earth is a cosmic being, it's a starship. We're traveling through space in this biological, intelligent, living being that is Mother Earth. And we're traveling through space, and the whole solar system is moving into this photonic belt. It's like a great deal of enlightenment is coming, and the darkness will not be able to traverse it. So because everything's going to be in the light is going to consume all the darkness, and so. So it's like the more we're getting into this belt, the more intense the light is. Right now, we are the ambassador of our galactic family and of the higher galactic consciousness, of the Federation, the unified forces of the universe, the Ashtar Command of the Galactic Federation of Light, or the Intergalactic Federation of Free World, whichever association, positive Christed organization or spiritual energy, or your own soul group, soul family. And we're also messenger of the one supreme creator. So just try to stand to be honest and true towards yourself and others, but mostly towards yourself. Sometimes you cannot be too honest with others. You don't want to, because you do not want to hurt. Well, lies hurt a lot. A lie will hurt someone more than the truth. But sometimes silence is better than telling the whole truth, because people, you have to know that to be kind is more important than to just tell too much truth too soon. So it's all for right now. It's all and all this what we're channeling, what we're canalizing, who we are in terms of this expression of our spirituality. It's all in relationship to our culture, to our belief, to our level of consciousness as well. And God knows where we are, who we are. If somebody's lying, it's to ourselves, is ourselves. It's not. God will know who we are from the beginning to the end. So and He loves us the way we are. So just continue to cultivate unconditional love and forgiveness to yourself and to others. So and it all starts here and now, and with you. It's always been here and now, but it starts now. It starts here, and it is you. You are it. So just always remember that. For we are all emissary of our own soul groups, and so we are here to anchor and share this unique energy that is you. No need to know everything about your origin and your connection and spirituality and all kinds of intellectual knowledge or beliefs. And we just need to choose love, to choose unity, to choose kindness, to choose authenticity. That's plenty enough, and that's just to be who we need to be. We came here to rescue the collective of humanity from its self-imposed exile from the cosmos and the Creator. So we just need to remind them of that, and it will come. And we are getting great assistance from the universe. Ascension is about coming into unity with our own divine nature. And every choice we make are very important. Every time we choose love, every time we choose peace, every time we choose fear, or we choose, it's very important. When we choose love, when we choose abundance, when we choose, it is a kind sort. When we choose fear, when we choose lack, when we choose suffering, it is unkind choice towards us and life. So we still have to transmute and be patient with ourselves. And you can call on the ascended master, you can call on the archangel, you can call on your spirit guides. The more we are sincere from the heart in calling on them, the faster they will come to respond to our call. But continue to sort of freedom and abundance a lot more than fear and lack. Huh? And it's really coming this right now. We're into this full moon on the 12th. There is this full moon, and that's activating the portal of abundance for the next 14 days, all the way to the new moon. And then 2 days later, there is the ascension, the celebration of ascension. But so it's like this whole 14 days will be about this disengaging from all sorts of fear and lack to activate abundance and prosperity. So for understanding also that all beings in the universe carry this divine spark of God light, and it's not just humans. For a long time, humans I've seen the science fiction models that like humans are the only chosen people of God, and all the extraterrestrials are dark. No, that's not true. Everybody has this divine spark, even if certain civilizations have chosen to remove themselves, to polarize negatively. They still they would not exist if they didn't have that spark of God, even if it's completely outside of their consciousness. They will be a lot harder for them to return to the light than for us. But everybody has a divine light within themselves. Huh? And are a unique expression of the source. So inner harmony is more important than perfection, in relationship to other, what other believe perfection should be. And there is 3 circuits that are always moving within ourselves. It's a lot of energy doing those videos. I'm sorry, I've done already this message in French, so it's like... So there is these 3 energies. One of them is the Akash. All the cellular memory, the subconscious, all of the information, conscious or unconscious, that comes from our own cellular experiences and memory. There is the blood that goes up and down, and there is the electromagnetic forces that send it to the brain to be interpreted. Right now, there is a total upgrade of our nervous system, of our electromagnetic field, as well as within the brain, all the circuits within the brain are being reprogrammed. Sometimes you can have a little bit of a headache because there's reprogrammation within the brain to give us access to higher function. So it is each organ and each cell is also being reprogrammed one at a time. Each organ, each cell, one at a time is being reprogrammed, regenerated. We need to let go of the old drama. And so there's a little exercise. That's what I offer this exercise. I talked about it. It's an exercise about upgrading the 4 elements within ourselves. Everything on the physical plane made of those 4 elements. They all come from the 5th element, the ethers. And so on the ethers, there is the Elohim, our creator of form. Then there is a diva, angelic. It's an angelic being that coordinates the harmonization of the elemental within ourselves. And we thank them for this upgrade. First, we come into peace and relaxation, and we invoke the presence. We send greetings to the self element within ourselves. The self element within ourselves is the air element within ourselves. We send greetings to the self within ourselves and ask them to fill all the space within our physical and auric body, between the atoms, between the cells, with love, to fill all the empty space within ourselves, made completely so it resonates with light and love. We thank themselves. Then we call on the salamander, the fire elemental within ourselves, and we ask them to upgrade our electromagnetic field, everything that has to do with the fire charge within ourselves to be upgraded, to be more empowered within this fire element. Then we invoke the Ondine. The Ondine are the water elemental within ourselves. We send them love and blessing. We thank them for their upgrading all of the hydraulic system within ourselves. It is our blood, but all the other, the emotional body as well, because it's all part of this hydraulic is connected to our hydraulic system, our kidneys, the rulers of that, and to upgrade. So we thank the Ondine for upgrading all our hydraulic system, and then we call on the dwarf within ourselves. The dwarfs are the elemental of earth, and we ask them to be great. We are grateful for them to go to work and repair every cell, every organ, everything that is still suffering within ourselves. And then we thank them all, and we just rest in peace with this new upgraded vehicle. And so realizing that there is a there is also there is this quantum reset that is going on within ourselves, but this quantum reset is also affecting society. And so, and what is affecting is there's two things that are very important: is the psyche. Whoever controls the narrative controls society. So it's like they've been trying to control society through the narrative. And the second thing that controls society is the currency, the money flow, and that is really changing. There is a really there is a quantum recess on the financial level, and I think the blockchain and the bitcoins will have a very, very powerful, important role to lead us towards the Nesara Gesara. It's a decentralization of the monetary system. And more people are getting in the wagon. There is like states that are accepting to work with it, and there are major institutions. And so the more and more, for a long time, for me, I saw that. I'm not talking about all the hundreds of thousands of crypto. That's more like a gamble. But the BTC is like the original. And so for a very long time, I saw that as just a speculative market. But now we are able, I will have to learn eventually how to use it. I've never used it, to be able to take money, to be paid in Bitcoins, and to pay things with Bitcoins. It's really a way to operate outside of the centralized banking system. It's about regaining the sovereignty and freedom. And the blockchain will... it's really moving us towards the ability to eventually align with the quantum financial system, the quantum computer that will eventually be able to handle all planetary transactions in a fair and honest way. There will be no more financial crime at this point, but it's a slow process. Huh? And so I will have to learn a little bit more about. I'm going to eventually run out. I don't have any money, so I can. But when I know that I have money coming, so I will be able I will get educate myself in relationship to how to utilize payment and in bitcoins, because I think it's going to become more and more important, as well as it will become more valuable because there's a limited number of them, and mining will no longer be possible very soon. So I wanted to thank you for listening to this message. I hope it's not too long. I hope that was interesting. I thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, for subscribing. I thank you so very much for your donations. And if you want a consultation or talk about art, you can send me an email. I'm going to pull a few more cards, but last I saw somebody... friends, I was curious to say, well, there is, for a long time we hear like there's the Q drops, Q information, like who is Q, why Q. It's a bit arrogant to utilize that Q from cultural perspective. The Q is come from a TV show called Star Trek. It is a race of beings that are master over time and space and matter. What they think it becomes. So it's like, yeah, I'm all powerful. It's like, and we have this power within us, the power of the Q, but the Q don't have that much wisdom, and they're playing with humans like they're just like pets. But once we'll have this power of the Q, we'll definitely be wise about it. God will not. But it is still interesting. It's like, because people are wondering why Q, who is Q, what is Q? The Qs are a race of beings, immortal beings that are pretend to that are the most advanced race in the Star Trek series of all the hundreds of galactic civilizations they encounter in their voyage. Star Trek was really, it's really about, there was a lot of symbol there as well to prepare humanity for a galactic consciousness, a galactic society. They just don't know about God yet, so that was hidden because in truth everybody knows about God in the cosmos, but the only one who do not know that. And the Earth are not the most advanced and will not be the center of the world. We will be very powerful, very influential, but we're baby race. We're still young within that process. We'll have many mentors and many assistants in the process. I think we have 2 years to prepare for the first contact and to prepare humanity. God is we're preparing that. So the final oracle is like going forward. So the card of the day is about going forward. The wisdom is about purification, continuing to purify the sunflowers, turning towards the sun, our beloved friend, the sun. What we need to understand is to take risk, to make leap of faith, to not be afraid, to take risk, and the greater the risk, the greater the reward as well. What we need to do is abundance. We'll be activating within the next. We are slowly but surely. We're really reactivating in just full abundance and prosperity within our life, and it's going to be focused on abundance. And the outcome will be traveling. So it's like we'll be traveling the world. Wonderful travelers. I'm quite connected to the World Collective on the planet. There are beings on the 8th dimension. There are like many souls living in one body. They're very advanced, they're very peaceful, they're very loving beings. And here they utilize the symbol of traveling. So we'll be doing a lot of traveling, not just within our mind anymore and spirit and essence, but we'll be traveling physically. I know this is coming, it's been announced. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you later. A good full moon as well. Thank you. Namaste.